Well, happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Well, I guess it's New Year's Eve for me. It won't be New Year's Eve for you. It will be firmly in January. With the new year, we have the opportunity to take and reflect upon this past year and make goals to figure out where we want to go in the future. I have big plans for 2026, and we're going to make some pivots. But before I tell you where we're going in 2026, I think it's important to recap what we've already accomplished and what we've done in 2025. Get a little State of the Union, if you will. So I think 2025 was all about laying the foundations. I mean, obviously, this is when I started the business. We did all of the legal filings. We filed for an LLC. We got an EIN number from the federal government. We registered with the state of Georgia. We got a registered agent so that I can get a PO box and not actually use my address to ship people things. And then we used all of those documentations and we set up an Etsy store. All of that takes time, and all of that was a lot of legal jargon to read through to understand what I was doing. But we did it. We completed 2 collections in terms of inventory that I have that's ready to sell. And that's not nothing. That's a lot. I have a lot of stained glass pieces that are just ready, waiting for their new homes. And then, of course, the other thing that we started is this YouTube channel. When I look back on 2025, before I sat down and actually scripted this video, I was a little like, I didn't do much or enough for this. But at the end of the day, like, this whole experiment that I'm doing is kind of scary, and it is kind of a lot. And I think that even just starting, I think it's reason to celebrate. Because we're here, I also enjoy when other creators go into their stats and talk a little bit about what they're seeing. Here, we're just in the content page of my channel. Let's actually go to the dashboard. Oh my god, I thought I had 35 subscribers. I have 36. We're ending off 2025 with a grand total of 36 subscribers, which is pretty cool. That's 36 people. Hello. Let's just take a quick look at our content. So we published 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos total in 2025. And our most viewed is, the obvious one of actually launching the Etsy shop. It has a total of 232 views and 3 comments. Now there is one video, it must be this one, making a custom stained glass panel, where I got started on making the panels for my TV console. Had a lot of comments and had a lot of engagements. We had 7 comments and 13 likes, which is, as you can see, compared to my other videos, that's a lot. And that's a lot of fun. I like it when you guys engage with my videos. I prefer that more than just the view count. To be honest with you, I think that's a little bit more fun for me. But that video did really well too, at 211. So we have 2 videos that did over 200 views, which is awesome. And then we have 3 videos that's sitting somewhere between 100 and 150-ish. And then we have a few videos that are down here, like between 0 and 100. And that's to be expected on a new channel. Overall, we're doing pretty good. Let's go back and sort by date. And what I'm seeing here is we've been on a trend of going up and up. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's always exciting. It's exciting to see what people are watching. But let's take a quick look at our analytics. Let's actually do the past year, 365 days. We're at the year-end review. Okay, so in total, in the past year, we've got 920 views, which we're almost at 1,000. It's pretty good. And we have about 130-ish watch time hours. And you can see here, we were held pretty steady, and then when I publish a video, there's obviously an increase. This video, I want to talk about this video. This video did something crazy. So all 8 of my videos kind of performed relatively the same. I publish it, it gets views, the views taper off, etc. This video almost immediately spiked to like 140 views. which was a lot for 3 days for me, for my size of channel. Usually, you know, you get like 10, 15 views a day and it slowly trickles up. This one shot way up. Honestly, I was kind of scared of it going viral. I was like, is this how it starts? I don't know. But then it evened off to now it's at a more reasonable, normal trajectory. I think this one just has a really good thumbnail. I think that's what it is. I think this is my favorite thumbnail. First of all, it's not very busy. A lot of my thumbnails are very busy, which I don't think I like. I'm thinking in 2026 I'm going to try to tone back my thumbnails. I think it just looks aesthetically pleasing, and I'm thinking that's why we had the big boost of views for that one video. Now, the next milestone on YouTube is I do want to get us to monetization. We'll need 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, which is going to be a lot. You know, we're only less than 5% of the way there in terms of watch hours. So we have a ways to go, but what's nice, if you go to this Earn tab in the YouTube Creator Studio, you can see a tracker bar for how close we are. Here's what my impressions look like. Impressions are just the amount of times that your video has been shown to an audience. And here's my click-through rate. We're currently sitting at 5%. I have no idea if that's good. With an average view duration of 8 minutes and 38 seconds. That's kind of high. That's a lot. 8 minutes. That's awesome. I know from other creators talking about it, I know like the first 30 seconds of a YouTube video is usually the most important. So the fact that my average is 8 minutes and 38 seconds, that's awesome. Thanks guys for sticking around. That's crazy. Now let's get into Etsy. For this year, we had 263 visits, a total of 7 orders, which is a 2.7 conversion rate. And our overall revenue is, drumroll please, just under $90, $89.50. We'll talk a little bit more, now that's just revenue. We'll talk a little bit more about what came home to me in a little bit. But let's take a look here at this graph. I think this graph will give us a lot of insights onto when do people take a look at my shop. So I actually had something listed before I posted that launch video. I had one pattern listed around the new year of 2024 to 2025. I have since unlisted it because I want to, before I start selling patterns, I want to do a little bit more research on like what makes a good pattern, on different licensing, things like that. I just want to do a little bit more research to make it better. So I've unlisted the very first one that I posted. But that's why in January, you can see we were already starting to get consistent views. So 18, 14, 16 per month. Now, these aren't very high numbers, but they're not nothing. Like there's people actually going here and checking out my shop, and it's exciting. And then obviously we get a really big spike in July. This is when I posted my first collection with the daisies and the butterflies, and obviously I posted that launch video. So I think that helped drive some traffic to the shop. And then views went down, as I would expect, as the hype wears off a little bit. And then we'll see a very big spike at the end of the year, around the holidays. And that makes a lot of sense. I'm sure Etsy in it itself gets a lot more traffic. People are looking for gifts, people are looking for stocking stuffers, and that's why we see this big spike here at the end. So let's take a look at some of these shopper stats. These are kind of fun. This year we had 54 item favorites. So that's people who have come into my shop, found an item that they like, so they will favorite it. They'll click a button so they can reference it later in the future if they want. We had 3 shop follows, which people can follow Etsy shops, and then they will receive notifications when that shop has an update or they list new products or things like that. And then the big one is we got some reviews. So far, everybody has actually been really nice in the reviews. They have said some very nice things, and nobody who buys from my shop has to leave a review. But it does really help, and I'm really glad that I have a good rating, and I'm really glad that the people who have left reviews have had a positive experience with my shop, and I'm really happy that they like their products. I know when I shop on Etsy, I read all the reviews about the seller, and I know it's hard as a new shop you want to start building a basis of reviews to kind of have other people vouch for you. We did reach 7 cities. And it's kind of fun. I really do like seeing where everyone lives, but I think we reached 3 states, maybe 4 states. I was thinking a fun idea would be to have some sort of map that we kept track of on this channel where I could like color in the state as we send off orders to that state. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. I think that could be kind of fun to do. But here are the stats that I wanted to show you guys. Because this is what's exciting, is how people found me. So 63% come from Etsy, which is awesome. I mean, that's why I went with Etsy instead of just a Shopify website, is because I was hoping I would get some organic traffic of people browsing Etsy already looking to buy handmade goods and coming across my shop. So I'm happy we're getting quite a bit of traffic just through the Etsy app. But 37%, that's almost 40, 37% of my shop traffic has come from, it's under direct or other, but that's you guys. That's people clicking on a link and coming directly to my shop. And the only place that I put links and really advertise is here. So that's you. That's 40%. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a huge percentage. So thank you guys for just even looking at my shop. It's so fun. This is so much fun. I'm so happy to share this with you. Oh, here. Okay, so here we can see from this link, which I post this link under each of my YouTube videos, 42 clicks. You guys are here looking at my shop, so that's awesome. Thank you guys for doing that. But let's go down to our actual listings. This is gonna be interesting. Let's see what was actually popular. So the top most viewed physical product is actually this daisy keychain, which surprised me a lot. I didn't know how popular keychains were gonna be, but that seems to be the most intriguing to people. We have 47 views and 12 favorites. 12 people are watching it. That surprises me because I thought that the butterfly magnet was going to be the most popular. I think this one feels to me like I get the most notifications about it. This one had 42 views with 10 favorites, but this one had 2 orders, so 2 people actually bought it, which is awesome. But these 2 are definitely at the top, and this makes sense. I kind of expected to have my lower priced items be the most looked at, and these 2 for the longest time on my shop were my lowest 2 priced items. Then I started listing some of my next collection, which is like celestial star themed, around the holidays. And this magnet here actually got a lot of traffic, which I was really happy about. And we actually sold 2, which is crazy. So this one came in 28 views with 11 favorites. And I only posted it a couple weeks ago, but it's gotten a lot of traction, and it makes sense. This is the cheapest item that I have listed. It's only $10. It's only 1 piece of glass, so that's why I'm able to list it for not that much. But I'm really happy people are liking it. So let's take a look at our lowest viewed items. And this does not really surprise me. The butterfly, the daisy, and then this big planet piece being at the bottom doesn't surprise me because it's the most expensive items. I am thinking, to be honest, for both this moon one and this piece, I'm kind of thinking they need revamps and product pictures. I don't think the initial picture does the piece justice, and that could be why it's ranking so low in search. I don't know. In 2026, we're still playing around to see what works and what doesn't work. So let's finish this segment off by taking a look at this number right here. After all the sales and all of the fees that Etsy takes and all of the shipping labels that we had to buy and all of the taxes that we had to pay, our take home for 2025 was $76.07, which is not bad. Like, it's not crazy. It's nothing that I can support myself off of, obviously, but think of how much glass we can buy for $75. We can buy a lot of pretty glass. That's awesome. No, that's so cool. And I really am only showing you this to kind of benchmark where we are right now. I think it'll be fun for a year from now to compare to where we are now. So yeah, that's kind of the state of the union for our business and where we're at and some of the statistics and behind the scenes. And I am really excited to see how this compares to next year. Let's just say some lessons were learned in 2025, but they were good lessons, and let's talk about them. So the major theme of all the lessons that I have learned is that everything takes so much longer than I thought it was going to. From creating YouTube videos, to creating my stained glass pieces, to just simply like product photography and getting things listed on Etsy takes so long. I think a common phrase that I heard over and over again in my mind throughout the past year was, wow, that took twice as long as I thought it was going to take. I thought I needed 1 day to do that. Just kidding. I needed 2 full days, full 8-hour days to finish cutting all those pieces or to finish soldering everything. And I think a part of that is because a lot of this is still new to me, right? Like I'm still learning and I'm still a beginner in a lot of aspects. I really struggle with deciding how much content I'm going to put into a single YouTube video. I really thought I was going to be pumping out videos like 1 project a week and 1 video a week, no problem. Of course I can. No. That's just not realistic. And so I think for 2026, one thing I'm going to focus on is really dialing in what kind of videos do I make and how much content do I need per video. And if I'm going to make a big video for a big project, which I still want to do, I still love those types of videos, I need more lead time, okay? I can't, and this is a me problem. Nobody else is asking me to do this, but I really thought 1 week was plenty. 1 week is not, it's not plenty. I think for 2026, I really want to get just a more realistic grasp on how long just the content of a video makes, and then like what sections of the project would make good videos in and of itself, and like what makes a good video from start to finish. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? It makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it really only needs to make sense to me. The second thing is stained glass itself takes a long time. The process is long, and I need to just hone my skill a little bit, and I think this is going to come from really intentional projects. Like I want to pick projects that will help me practice different parts of the stained glass process in a way that will just inherently improve my skill. And I'm kind of intentionally being vague so I don't give too much away of all the 2026 projects. Oh my gosh, the thing that we really need to talk about. So for getting YouTube videos out, the biggest bottleneck for me is editing. Oh my god, editing takes so long. Who knew? It's crazy. It's crazy how much long editing takes. Again, this is something that will get faster with practice for me because I'm still new. I don't really know what I'm doing. But whoever says that you can just edit on whatever computer you have is lying. That's bullshit. You can't. Okay? That's bad advice. You can't. Anyways, I was using my laptop and my Windows laptop with DaVinci Resolve, and my laptop really struggled. It did not have enough power behind it to do video editing, and with video editing you need a lot of processing power and GPU to do like decent edits. So Apple products are actually good at it. I know like MacBooks are excellent. So people are right in that if you have a MacBook or any MacBook, you can do a bunch of video editing, like high-level video editing with it, but you need the right tool to have a streamlined editing process, and I did not have the right tool. So at the end of 2025, it's kind of a belated birthday present that I gifted myself, is I did get myself a new laptop that has way more power behind it than my old one. So I'm really excited about that, having that upgrade. I really do think that that'll make my editing process faster. I hope along with this new tool and all the practice that I plan on getting in 2026, I hope that I can shorten the amount of time it takes me to edit videos. But oh my god, does everything take so much longer than I think it will. I just gotta plan for it, and I gotta practice. That's the major lesson. Alright, so what does all that mean for 2026 in terms of this channel? Now, I have a couple goals The main one, the big one, is I am gonna try to post weekly. Yeah? Weekly, every Sunday at 10 a.m. I would like to get a video live. Now I'm gonna put a little asterisk by that goal because I know it's actually really, I know that's super lofty and it's really aggressive, but my goal is to get 40 YouTube videos out next year. Now there's 52 weeks in a year, so my plan is to be aggressive and try to get videos out weekly, but if I miss one because of unforeseen circumstances, I am giving myself a little bit of buffer in this goal. And there's a few reasons why I want to be so aggressive. It's not just because it sounds nice, because like I talked about in some of the lessons learned, is I really need to get a better feel for how much can go into a single YouTube video. And by making myself publish something every week, I think that'll give me a better idea of how much lead time I'm going to need for certain types of videos. The second thing is because I'm trying to get so many videos out, this is going to give me a lot of practice in editing, which I really need, a lot of practice in filming, which I really need, and in storytelling. But also, I really don't know my style of editing, and so I think by just making a ton, it'll help me figure it out. And then the third reason, while I am really proud of the 35 subscribers that are here, hi, hello, I do eventually want to be monetized. It'll help with the business. I think it'll be a really great just milestone accomplishment that we can work towards. My point is, if I grow at 35 subscribers a year, not bad. It's fine if that's what it happens. But it will take me 15 years to get to the 500 I need for monetization. And I would like to achieve that in less than 15 years. So I'm hoping a more aggressive posting schedule might help grow my channel a little bit more this year. But another change you'll see on the channel is I'm going to play a lot around with the format of videos that I'm going to make. Again, I really don't know what I like to make, so I'm just going to make a bunch of different types this year. We're going to make some that are like this, that are more talking. We're going to make some that are less talking, maybe some that are no talking and are just like craft with me videos. We're going to make, I want to dabble in like a vlog. That could be kind of fun. I don't know. What's that saying? We're going to throw the pasta, the spaghetti at the wall. We're going to see what sticks. That's what we're going to do this year. That's going to be this year. So stay tuned. I got a lot of fun ideas. And then there are things outside of YouTube that I want to accomplish for my small business. First of all, I really want to flush out my branding a little bit more. I really like my logo. I really like the name of my shop. And I really like the colors. But I really only have, like, that's all I have. And I think that we can be a little bit more creative, a little bit more fun, and we can go more in depth on branding materials. I think right now it really comes across in like my Etsy shop banner and my YouTube banner. They're kind of boring with just my logo and just my shop name. I think we can do something fun to jazz it up a little bit, but I do want it to be coherent with my brand. The next thing I want to understand is a release cadence for my products. I don't have a very good idea of how long it takes me to make a collection, or even how many pieces I should put in a collection. I've been watching a lot of Passionate Kelsey. She does like crochet and knit goods. She releases her products once a month. I think it's like the first Saturday of every month. But essentially she'll just make as much as she can for during the entire month and then just release everything to her audience all in one drop. I'm sure her customers know that, okay, every first Saturday there's going to be new products that they can go look at or shop or buy. And it's more of a reliable subconscious thing instead of just dropping whenever random. And yeah, I think I would just like to be more consistent and reliable on my product releases. Now, I think that is going to be something that I focus more maybe on the second half of 2026. The first half of 2026 is going to be more YouTube focused. Right now, we have a decent amount of product. Like, I'm not really worried about selling out of everything. So the business that I'm trying to set up works where probably my YouTube is going to drive more traffic to my Etsy store. I think right now it would just be more beneficial for the business to grow the YouTube and more of the advertising side, because we already have a decent amount of inventory. And then to end this video, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek on some of the projects that I'm planning to do in 2026. I'm not going to be too specific because the things that I do know I want to make, I do want to be a surprise. The big one that I want to get into is I want to start dabbling in 3D stained glass art pieces. I think everything that I've made so far has been 2D panels, which I'm still going to continue to make because they are beautiful and I have a lot of projects in mind. So there's still going to be some more of those, but I've never made something three-dimensional before. One thing I will do at some point in my life is I want to make a stained glass Tiffany style lamp, like a full lamp, because oh my god, they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. But in my head, that is like the epitome, like end of the skill tree, top tier stained glass artisan project to make. Like, that is so intimidating to me. I'm gonna do it at some point in my life, but I think a good place to start is we should start with doing something that is three-dimensional. Yeah? Yeah, I think so. So look forward to that in 2026. I do want to start using lead-free solder. I have heard that it's pretty difficult to work with, which is why I haven't. And most of the stained glass artists that I have talked to and know they don't use it. Lead is toxic. You don't want that in your system. But really, the only ways to get it in your system is to, like, put it in your mouth and ingest it, or to breathe it in, which this is in the form of metal. You know, this is not in paint that can flake off. That's why lead paint is so toxic, because it can flake and you can inhale it. It's also, most of the time when you make stained glass art, you're not meant to hold it for hours and hours, but just having lead in the form of metal hanging in your home is not really dangerous. But if I'm gonna get more into functional art, and even for like the keychains and the fridge magnets that I have made, I think I'm gonna switch those over to lead-free solder. I'm not passing any judgment about other stained glass artists who use lead in those kinds of products. Like I said, I'm sure it's fine and it's not that big of a deal, but my little brain that can sometimes have a little bit of anxiety to it, for my peace of mind, I think I'm just going to start using lead-free solder for those functional type products. Just so it's not an issue, you know? The only other little hints that I'll give you about the projects I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have a good mix of stained glass projects that I'm making to sell in my business and personal projects. I mean, I started this hobby because I loved it and I wanted more stained glass art around my house, and because it's fun for me, I want to make sure I keep that love for it, which means making projects for me, making projects for my home. So I'm not going to limit myself to just making things that I think other people would want to buy. I'm going to make things for me, but then I'll keep them and I'll share them with you. Yes? Yes. I think that makes sense. We'll see. We're making a lot of changes for 2026, and I'm ready. Just on like a personal level, not even talking about my business, just in life in general. I'm just ready. I'm ready for change. I know 2026 is going to come with a lot of change. I have big trips planned. I'm going to go to South Africa in a couple months. And I know I'm going to move, so this apartment is going to change. And maybe we can make more stained glass for the new apartment. We'll see. I have new routines that I'm going to try to establish. I'm really excited for the new year. I'm really ready for a lot of change. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this year will bring. And I hope you are too. Speaking of, that's all I had to talk about in this video. If you're still here, feel free to like and subscribe. That would be awesome. It really helps out the channel. And I hope that you guys had a great holiday season. I hope you are also feeling excited about 2026. And it's a great time to just let whatever 2025 was be in 2025 and look forward to the new year. And I hope everyone has a good new year. So, yeah, that's it. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.